In order to make dollar bills on YouTube, you have to hit these two metrics. And it's no surprise that getting those first 4,000 hours of watch time is one of the hardest parts of just growing a YouTube channel. Getting people to actually watch your videos longer is way harder than it sounds. But there's a big psychological trick that a lot of the big YouTubers use that gets people to watch longer. Here, watch this Mr. Beast video and tell me if you can catch it.
So without further ado, green light. Red light. And as you can see, every single player has a device.
All right, did you catch that mind trick that he just played that gets people to watch longer? In this video, we're gonna talk about a lot of different tricks that gets people to watch your videos longer. And while Mr. Beast might have spent multiple millions of dollars creating this video, these hacks don't cost you a dime. So by the end of this video, you'll be feeling something like this.
Oh, these numbers on the screens, man, they turn me on. They turn me on. I ain't never off. I'm always on.
So to get 4,000 hours of watch time, you essentially have two different paths. You could see how long the average person watches one of your videos and then do the math to determine how many videos you need to make to get to 4,000 hours of watch time. And here's the equation you need to determine that. On the left side, we're basically just turning watch hours into watch minutes, which will help with this equation. And then on the right side, we're figuring out how many average views per video do we get and how long do they typically stick around. We get those numbers from our analytics, we can plug them in here. Let's just say we get an average of 4 minutes of watch time per video, and maybe we get 100 views per video. So if we were to plug that into our equation, we need to make about 600 videos in order to reach the goal.
600 videos.
Holy moly. Okay, well, let's back up. Hold on. Don't freak out. Because there's another path we can take. And using this path is a little bit more of a path of least resistance, because when you know how to use this path, you can actually double your watch time and bring in more views. If we just double the watch time to 8 minutes and bring the views up to 3,000 views, not astronomical, totally within reach, all of a sudden this equation tells us we need how many videos? 10. That feels so much more attainable. So how do we actually do that though? Well, let's look at the video creation process a little bit like a factory. And every part of this process is a different machine that at the end of this pumps out videos. I apologize for all the noises that are happening around me. This is just real life. And if you link all of these machines together, at the end is a finished video. Now that's true for every single creator, but what's different is the order that people put those machines in. And it is actually possible to put them in the wrong order. You do get a video, but it doesn't get views, it isn't watched very long. And I actually wish someone would have slapped me aside the head and told me that I needed to fix this. So here, watch this.
I just can't say it enough. Like, I'll be blue in the face saying this until I think the day I die. Is like, you know, the idea is more important than everything. Now, of course, you could have a great idea. If you don't execute it, it's no longer a great idea. But the idea itself is almost like sets the standard of what this video could become. Is this going to be a 50K view video? Is this going to be a 5 million view video? This
is Paddy Galloway. If you haven't heard of him, you've probably heard of one of his clients, Mr. Beast. Right, this is one of the most sought after YouTube consultants out there. This interview right here is actually such a value-packed interview from Creator Science. Go over there, give them some love. But as you heard, the first thing you need to do is come up with an exceptional idea. But here's the thing, not all ideas you have are exceptional. And the hard truth, and it's true for all of us, most of them are bad.
I think you view it as a dirty tap. When you switch a dirty tap on, it's going to flow water out for a substantial amount of time, and then clean water is going to start flowing, and now and then you'll get a bit of shit, but as long as it gets out of you, it's fine. So with songs, you're going to write songs at the beginning. My songs were terrible. My raps were terrible. Like, I've listened to it the other day, it's awful, but I got it out of me.
Ed Sheeran has this fantastic approach about this creative process called clearing the pipes. It's all about getting the bad ideas out so you make room for those good ideas to flow. So here's what you need to do. Just jot down anything and everything, whether that's the emotional state you're in, a sentence that you heard somebody say that really piqued your interest, or maybe it's just even an observation of your surroundings that you find inspiring. Write it down. And honestly, it doesn't even matter where you write these down. For me, it's in my phone. I just have what I call an idea dump, and I just put it all there. And the best piece of advice I've ever been given is watch things that are not what you do. So maybe that's watching films or reading about philosophy or going to a comedy show, whatever that may be. Get outside your realm. So the first step in the process is spending a good amount of time making sure your idea is a good one, because if your idea sucks, there's no need to put lipstick on a pig. Okay, we got our idea, right? Which is fantastic, but what are we gonna do next? Not hit record, unless you want your video to be collecting dust, which I'm gonna guess that's not the case. To illustrate this next point, I need to go get a box. So I've got something for you. You can only choose one. The choice is up to you. You either get this gift or this gift.
I feel like the better one's probably in here.
You just pick.
What is
Or there's reverse psychology happening.
I like this one. 10-minute back rub. Oh, that's nice.
That's not how this was supposed to go. This one says high five. I could have swore you were going to pick that one. So what that was supposed to show is the importance of packaging. Because you can spend so much time and effort scripting and writing your videos and editing your videos, but if no one actually watches them because your packaging sucks, well, maybe someone will watch it. Alright, so next we're going to be talking about what I call the bookends of your video. So that's going to be the hook at the beginning and the call to action at the end. And yes, what I'm saying is you're starting with your call to action, not the meat of the video, which some people normally start with, which we haven't even got to that part yet. But here's the thing, you've roped them in. You've spent so much time on the title and thumbnail. They are here, now it's game time. So your hook needs to land or it's gonna fall flat. Essentially, this point in the video is the elevator pitch. Why should they care? What's at stake for them? How is this gonna be the most interesting thing they've seen all day? And you also need to just assure them that what they've clicked on is the thing that they were expecting to get. If people feel clickbaited, they're gonna get out real fast. Hey, this is probably a good time as any to interrupt and just say, if you think this video is like worthy of clicking the like button, that would be very appreciated. These videos, they take a long time to make, so that'd be awesome. But then let's jump to the end, because believe it or not, your story does not end when the video does. It's exactly at this point in the video when a lot of smaller creators are gonna say, hey, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Don't do any of that, okay? If you really wanna get on the good side of the YouTube algorithm, what you really want people to do is binge watch your content. So you may say something like, hey, you learned A in this video, but that's really not helpful until you understand B. So make sure to check out how to learn B in this video. Treat it more like a to be continued instead of a the end. Now, if you're able to do this, if you're able to pull off bingeable content, YouTube will skyrocket your channel faster than you can say monetization. Hey, remember that Mr. Beast clip we were looking at earlier? Let's revisit that. This is the Squid Game video, his most popular video at the time of this recording. Now, he knows that you are clicking on that video to watch the competitions, so he keeps the intro really short. We're hurrying up, we're getting to the meat of the content. Oh, crap. My papers flew away. Now remember, the competition has started. We're about 15 seconds into that competition, and then this happens.
So without further ado, green light. Red light. Oh. And as you can see, every single player...
He pauses the action, lets everyone know, hey, nobody's getting shot. Now, why is this important? Because imagine if he would have stuffed that little detail into the intro. Well, if he would have done that, we would have had no context for what he was talking about. We hadn't even seen it happen yet if he would have put it in the intro. It would have been much less significant, a whole lot more interesting, and lengthened the amount of time of the intro. Even though Mr. Beast is the biggest creator on this platform, he knows that most of his audience is not the core fans. It's just the casual viewer who just wants to get what they came for as soon as possible. Now, to be clear, this tip is not about shortening your intros. While that might be valuable, that's not exactly what I'm saying here. Now, the key takeaway here is to show your audience what you want them to know, either before you tell them or instead of telling them. So this is the point where you're writing the script. So let's say you're talking about dog grooming, for example. Traditionally, people's scripts look something like this. You tell the audience tip number 1 to make sure that you have sharp scissors, and then talk for 2 to 4 minutes about why this is important, how it could create split ends for dogs' fur if they don't, etc. The problem is your audience thought that they got what they needed, and then they went ahead and skipped. So the solution is just switching the script. First, tell them why they should care, and then give the rest away, therefore keeping your audience's retention a whole lot longer. Hey, you and I both know that creating a YouTube channel is not an easy task. It's no walk in the park. You got the scripting, which is literally what I got right here. You got the editing, you got the lighting, the audio, and let's not even talk about the mental game it takes to be on camera. But luckily, I have this 4-step process that will actually help you with the mental side, which is going to save you a whole lot of time in editing, cutting out all of the dead time where you forgot what you were gonna say. And if that sounds like a pain point for you, make sure to click this video right here, or you can click this one because that's where I made a $4 teleprompter and it's come in handy.